What's up, y'all? This is Markevius. Today is October the 11th, and it marks 1 year since I released my first album, my first CD entitled Day One. This CD. It's been 1 year. So I wanted to first make a video to say thank you, and thank you for all the people who played a part. If you go to my website, markeviusfaulkner.com, I have the whole list of credits, like everybody who played on every song, every writer, every producer, engineer, everybody who played a part in each song specifically is on my website. So y'all check that out. It's on the Buy Music link, I believe. And then you see the pictures from the release from last year, and you see the credits. So, like, I'm very excited that many of you, like for real, a lot of you really have my album, and I'm really grateful for that. You know, considering me being an independent artist, there's no major label, there's no big force necessarily pushing me, but God and you. So a lot of you have, I don't want to go into numbers, but a lot of you really have my album, and I really appreciate it, considering the downloads and the physical sales. Like, I really appreciate it. But by you having the album, like, that's the blessing, bro. That's the blessing. Like, thank you. I'm grateful for that. But the true happiness in me comes from the process of making this album. Man, I had so much fun day in and day out. We put a lot of work into it, like a lot of us. I would call names, but I forget people's names. I may call a few names in this video. But we put a lot of work into creating the album. And that was the fun part. Like, after we finished it, after the studio sessions and the meetings and all that, I was like, man, like, what do we do now? Like, I guess gotta promote the album now. Like, it was like, that's the work part, but we had so much fun creating it. So I want to give y'all, like, behind the scenes little information, stuff that happened during the process, stuff that you probably never hear me talk about again or no one else talk about again. I just want to put it in this video. It's social cam, and I love y'all, and I'm having fun. So, day one. For one, if you have the actual physical CD and not the download, I was working with my friend Courtney Richardson, and I was also working with Kia Granberry specifically, and Ramon Johnson specifically, on the image of this album. So Courtney really worked with me on the thank yous. So shout out to Courtney Richardson. He really helped me with the thank yous. I don't know who came up with this M design. I think it was Ramon. But Courtney really helped me kind of get it all together with my thank yous. So, and I think I was talking to him, and he was like, hey, now I was telling him that it wasn't, it was more that I wanted to do for the album. I wanted to mean more, especially with the image. And he was like, what means the most to you? What matters the most to you? And I was telling him about my 8 twos, my 8 principles: to encourage, to achieve, to uplift, to succeed, to pray, to trust, to learn, to love. So, that being said, if you actually have the physical CD, we have those 8 principles in the bricks. You can't really see it. But after I put this in there, the CD cover mean way more to me than just a nice picture and just day one in my name. Like, it really means a lot more to me now because I have my 8 principles that I say and live by every single day of my life. So shout out to Courtney for that. Ramon is the guy who did all the graphics and just made it look good, made it look nice and neat and professional and excellent. Ramon. Kia helped me with the wording. Kia helped me with everything almost. So shout out to Kia Granberry. Thank you so much. Andrew Paparazzi Daily, he took the pictures. So and what's so crazy about it, it was raining the day we had the photo shoot. It was raining like really badly in Memphis, and so we couldn't go anywhere. It was raining, so the actual photo shoot is in my living room, in my apartment in Midtown, Memphis, Tennessee. So if you have the physical album, I'm sitting on my couch, and that's the fireplace behind me, and that's the brick. And we just made it work. So shout out to Andrew for his excellence and just making it work, making it look like I was like somewhere in New York on a lot of my pictures, and I was really at the house. So shout out to Andrew. It's so many funny moments on songs. The hardest song for me to record was the easiest song to listen to, which is... I think the hardest song was This Is the Day. And it was only hard because I wasn't prepared. I didn't like on all the songs. What we did was we rehearsed the night before or the week before every single day leading up to the rehearsal date. So all I had to do was go in the studio and just copy and paste what we had rehearsed, what we said we was gonna do. Even my ad libs, everything, background, runs, everything. We rehearsed all of that, mostly. And so on This Is the Day, I figured it's an easy song. My friend Matt Hall from Texas actually wrote This Is the Day, and I just redid This Is the Day. So I didn't create that awesome song. Brittany Brown arranged the vocals, though. Shout out to Brittany. Brittany arranged the vocals on This Is the Day. But that was the hardest song because I wasn't prepared, because I was like, I love this song, I know this song, blah, blah, blah. I went in there, and I remember that studio session day, we had to stop early. We had to get out of there and come back to do that again, because that was just, So This Is the Day was probably the hardest song. Also, the easiest song to do was probably God Has Smiled on Me. Only because it was storming the day Jonathan Davenport and I did God Has Smiled on Me. But I think we was working on another song, and God Has Smiled on Me just came up in the conversation. And he was like, "Oh, let's do it," and we just like did God Has Smiled on Me like that. And it was literally storming, so we were like afraid that it would kind of pick up on the track and boom, all the thunder and stuff. So God Has Smiled on Me was the easiest song to do. Well, it was the fastest. I won't say the easiest, but it was the fastest song that I recorded. I can go into so many other songs. Let's see what else on here. Day One. I love Day One. We did Day One. We did that pretty quickly too. Yeah, we did Day One pretty fast. And shout out to D Monet for being on that jaunt, making it hot. Y'all are listening to this song now like all across the country, so I really appreciate y'all for loving Day One. Jehovah God, that was Jonathan Richmond, and we actually recorded that in 2009. So all the other songs I recorded like a year or two later, but Jehovah God was recorded years before that, and we recorded that in his studio, and I was terrified, of course. I had to have the lights off in the sound room I was in because it was like my first time actually doing solo kind of in the studio, and it was just too much. And that's probably the biggest song that I have is Jehovah God One by One. No More. I wrote No More in 2010. I wrote No More in 2009 after my first concert. I think like a week or so after my first concert. And now all of you are, you know No More. And it came out 2 years later. I Won't Fail You. That's David Gillard and Marquis Walker. They got together, created some magic. And that's I Won't Fail You. I was very intimidated by that song because I felt like